My friends, welcome to another episode of the Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by Mafia Sports Report. I, as always, am Dr. Love. This is Brutus. And, of course, you can't see his face, but he's there, and that's Sauce Bronson.
Yeah, one day my body will stop falling apart. One of these days.
Exactly. You know what? It's okay. Again, he's going to pull a Cena today, but he's definitely here. So, oh, absolutely. But looks like we do have some chats already here, and it looks like yes, it's in regard to us being from Detroit. NBA screwed the Pistons again in regard to the draft pick. Well,
it's all surprised.
Yeah, kind of happens with all our teams, but
didn't the Red Wings get screwed too?
Yeah, they got a pretty low pick as well, but the team's getting better every year. They're getting better, so that's okay with me. And then, of course, when Papa Mafia, hello to Brutus. He says hello. Says hello to Princess. I know you got Princess there. So, and then of course, yeah. Brutus, you're supposed to say yeah. We'll work on that. But of course, if you right back. So, all right. So as it says on for the title for this show, we do have next week. We do have Night of Champions, or should we say Day of Champions? Right? What is happening during the day? I know it's time change or whatever, but you know how it works. But again, before we even get into Night of Champions, we have Christopher Roseborough with a yeah. Let me talk to you. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Hey, just a reminder, if you come in and pop us with a yeah, we'll yeah right back at you.
Absolutely. Okay, so we do have obviously the Night of Champions show, which is next week in Saudi Arabia. And, obviously this was changed. It was initially going to be the king and queen of the ring, which I'm glad that they are not doing that because it kind of defeated the purpose of having the queen of the ring tournament in Saudi Arabia, but that's its own thing. So honestly, they made the right choice to change this to Night of Champions. And we actually have we got some pretty good matches set up for this because, as we already know, the Saudi Arabia shows have never been that best for matches, right? Match quality.
No. Actually, I will say, Doc, today I was kind of looking back at some of the Saudi shows. I would say maybe, with, as far as, COVID affecting, the world and whatnot, it actually, in the plus side, kind of affected the quality of WWE products because it seemed like every Saudi event post COVID was actually way, way better.
That's a good point. I mean, because remember, we always look back at the real bad, like Goldberg Undertaker, which to this day, it's a bad match, but I still defend, not in the sense of the Goldberg, he's done. I get that. But the fact of the matter was when they wrestled their match ringside, in the ring, it was over 100 degrees, literally over 100 degrees. Michael Cole and them wouldn't stop talking about it. They were talking about the weather there. And it's like, you guys aren't even wrestling. You guys aren't like way past your prime trying to wrestle in the 100+ degree weather. So I'm just saying, it was a recipe for disaster for them. And so I do feel bad for that, but it is what it is. Personally, give us your if you guys watched any of these Saudi shows, your most memorable or least memorable. I'll tell you my least memorable, honestly, is that tag match with Undertaker and Kane and Shawn Michaels and Triple H. That was horrendous. That was probably, like, there's some stinkers, but that was probably the worst one for me, honestly. I don't know. Oh gosh, it was like they said, "Hey, we want D-Generation X back." It's like Brothers of Destruction back.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh. Let's get Yokozuna in there too. It's like whoa, wait a minute, hold up. Ultimate Warrior, what's he doing? Okay, so about that. Ugh. Well, yeah. Anyways, I think you're right though. The quality has gotten better, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing moving forward. So, with that being said, we're going to go over again Night of Champions, and I'm going to go over this first since we just got this locked in, ready to go. They obviously had this tournament for the past couple of weeks or so, or the week or whatever that kind of tournament they were trying to call. You know what I'm saying? And now we have our match set, and I think I called it for AJ Styles. I said AJ Styles should win that. He came back, put him in that tournament, and now he's facing Seth Rollins, and which should be a banger of a match for the new World Championship. So
the big gold 3.0.
Big gold 3.0, but you know what? I'm fine with it. I'm fine with either one of those guys having that belt. Honestly, I think either one of them would be great champion. AJ is going to be a little tricky though because AJ would have to move to Raw, even though all of the club is on SmackDown, or they just move the whole group. It really just whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They would probably just move the whole group.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm such an AJ fan. I would love to see it, but I already just know the match itself is going to be it's going to be a great match. I mean, they're high flyers. These guys going to work well together, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. But what are your thoughts, though, Sauce?
So, I mean, with that being said, as far as this match goes, I'm all for it. Listen, any world title match that doesn't involve a part-timer, Brock Lesnar, being in there, I am all for it, okay?
Yeah.
Because we know that when these guys win the belt, they'll show up next, they'll show up the next night of WWE programming. Seriously, what about Roman? Yes, we know this man's only wrestled like 30 times in the past 3 years. but what the credit I will give Roman is at least he shows up on television. He may not wrestle, but he's there. But at least he works there. He exists.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But as far as I'll be honest with you, this match should be the closer. This should be the headliner. And this is the match I'm really looking forward to the most, really. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's only there's really only one, but there's only one match on here that's pretty booty cheeks, but other than that, everything else I'm pretty content with.
Yeah, I'm excited just again, like you're gonna see the full ability for both these guys for this new championship, and I'm just all for it. I honestly am gonna predict that it's gonna be a 4.5 headlock match.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna predict on that for sure.
As far as prediction, what do you predict?
I think AJ Styles. I'm gonna stick with him. I think that he obviously Seth Rollins has been the front runner, and it makes sense. But it also makes sense to have AJ win and then continue on a feud, and then that could have him win the title. Go back and forth, and they can go to SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? And then we could have him in another match there. So I am all set for that.
I got you. Me on the other hand, I'm going to go with Rollins. I mean, I was actually shocked that AJ Styles actually ended up being in the finals for this.
Yeah.
If there's a deserving, wrestler who should be in here, is definitely him. This dude just came back, from injury. What was it? What was his ankle, I think?
Yep.
But as far as this match goes, real quick, for all the people that are just joining us, as far as on Twitter, whatnot, just want to give just want to show the socials real quick. Just to let everybody know, the blue is pretty much where you can find us at on the Twitters, and the brown is where you can find us on the grams. So, with that being said, we're trying to get more more into as far as with the socials. I I do apologize for the last few days of being inactive on Instagram because mainly because a little game from Nintendo came out called Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah. Yeah.
and listen, I'm sorry. I got about 43 shrines in. I got the full map unlocked. Once again, I'll be back on. I'll be back on what I'm supposed to do tomorrow.
Wow, you're we'll talk about that later because we'll
Yeah.
off the after the show. I've been playing as well. So
Right.
anyway, so yeah, we'll.
But with this, I'm going. I'm definitely going Rollins. I understand that right now, apparently he's doing some shooting for a movie here or there or whatnot. But I don't. I feel like that's not going to affect his chances. Coming home with the gold.
No,
Rollins has spent like what the last. I want to say Rollins has spent like the last year and a half. Just these matches. Putting everybody else over. Once again, shout out to him. But I think now it's time, to go ahead and reap the awards, with the gold around his waist.
Yep. All right. Hey, all I care about is a great match, and I think we're going to get that regardless. So if Rollins wins, I'll be happy as well because he deserves it. But yeah, this is one where I'm happy for either one, honestly.
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, AJ, granted, had he not got hurt, who knows what he would have been doing at Mania. He probably, looking back at it now, we got the triple threat, the three meaty men in that IC match. But who knows? That might have been originally supposed to be Gunther versus AJ. That would have definitely been a banger within itself.
Yeah.
Hell, AJ Styles could have fought KSI in the costume and still put on a 5-star match. That's just how great he is. So.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
But like I said, you going Styles, I'm going Rollins. I need the big gold 3.0 to get a little drip on it.
All right. I like it. So, all right. So, moving on to a match that just got confirmed yesterday on Monday Night Raw. Gunther is going to defend the Intercontinental Championship against Mustafa Ali. He won the over the top rope battle royal, and it's like, okay, cool. Nothing against Ali. I honestly, he's okay. But we all know why he's in this match. Come on, it's not. There's a 0.000 numerous other 0% chance of him winning this match against Gunther. I just was not going to happen. It would be ridiculous for him to lose the belt, regardless of if they would say, well, they're going to push him to like top tier or whatever. No, that's stupid. That's not. No, don't do that. So to me, this was just a it's the same thing with Mansoor in the Greatest Royal Rumble. Throwing them in there and let them stay in there so long. It's the same thing. There's just nothing else. I don't really have much else to say about it, honestly. I am excited for because right now it's kind of setting up for like a Matt Riddle Gunther feud. Because during the Battle Royal yesterday, Matt Riddle came out and was in there right to near the end, and Imperium was interfering with Matt Riddle to get him eliminated, and he was eliminated. So they're obviously setting this kind of feud up with him and Matt Riddle. Bronson Reed stayed in there near the pretty much at the end, so that was nice seeing that they're still pushing him. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, this match just gonna see. I'm pretty sure if Gunther just chops him, he'll like explode. Probably. He'll be like poof. It's like, where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, man. But again, Mustafa Ali's got good talent. He does, but this match was just no. This makes no sense whatsoever. If they still had the cruiserweight division, then yeah, and they had a match on there with somebody, then yeah, that would have been fine. I could almost see him in like a United States Championship match against like Austin Theory, right? I could see that because as of right now, we don't even have a United States Championship match on the card. As of now, they could announce one this week, but there is not one yet on a show called Night of Champions. But just yeah. But like I said, we'll wait and see on that. Obviously Gunther, it's probably just going to be like a 1-star match. I'm not really looking forward to it, but maybe 2. It might be like a 2-star match. It maybe, but 2 headlocks. But yeah, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Okay, remember about 6 minutes ago when I said one of these matches over here is going to be just booty cheeks?
Wait, this is this one. I get it.
I care nothing about this match. I'm just upset that this match even happened. This match saw the light of day. It's like I'm more offended about that than anything else. I mean, granted, below we got 2 potential matches that haven't been officially announced yet, but hell, I'd rather see Rhea Ripley versus Natalya before I see this.
Exactly, right? No, I get you on that. And it looks like we do have a chat here from Christopher. WWE wants Gunther to break Honky Tonk Man's IC title reign of 454 days, and that makes complete sense. I mean, yeah, I would do it if they're already wanting to break records, and after Night of Champions, that's 1,000 days from Roman Reigns. Then yeah, let Gunther keep it and get the record. It's not even a question at this point. So, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as far as here's the thing, like last night when I was watching Raw, my question is, why didn't you just let Bronson Reed win? That would have been a much better match than this. Much better. Nothing against Mustafa Ali. He looks like a guy who clearly doesn't want to be there, who clearly doesn't really care about showing up to work right now or whatnot. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, is he going, he'll do his best as far as putting on a performance, for us wrestling lads, but at the same time, it's like nobody asked for this match. Nobody wants this match.
No.
You should have just gave us Gunther versus Bronson Reed. Granted, Gunther was still going to win, but we would have got a match with 2 big, sweaty, meaty men slapping each other's sweaty meats, and I would have been here all for it.
Oh, yeah.
But no, you got David versus Goliath, and spoiler alert, Goliath ain't losing this
one. No. That's for sure. So
the only thing I'm looking forward to this match, Doc, is at the beginning when I hear Gunther would like to demand your gratitude, and then by that point, I'll be honest with you. If I was doing the booking, I would just put this as the opener. Just granted, because Mustafa, granted, I get I'm assuming that's where he's from, or not, or they just needed somebody, as far as what's the word I'm looking for? The heritage, as far as just
yeah, I got you. Yeah, exactly. I hear what you're saying. Yep.
Basically, yeah, they just got somebody to say, okay, yeah, you look like the people that we're going to entertain over there, so we want you to represent over there and get your ass kicked while doing it.
Get your ass kicked.
I would just I'll be honest with you, if I'm booking this, I'm booking this as the opener.
Yeah.
Get the crowd excited for Mustafa. Get the crowd, going for Gunther. And then after this match is over, hopefully we never have to see these 2 in a match like this unless Mustafa is pushed to the point where he becomes the people's champion. That's the only time I ever want to see these 2 in the ring at the same time together again. He's
gonna reform Retribution. What?
You know what? At this point, Doc, I would rather see Gunther versus all of Retribution with the IC belt on line. That would be more entertaining than what we're about to witness next Saturday.
Well, what's crazy is I would love to see Donovan Dijak against him now because he was in friggin' Retribution, but that would be a sick match right now. Dragunov too, Ilya Dragunov against him again because
that would be a sick NXT match.
Oh come on! If they pushed it, it would have been pretty good. I'm just saying if they pushed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess you book it as like the second match on the card, to get to help the crowd cool off, for a bit. That'd be the only. I mean, on a WWE pay-per-view, especially overseas, Yeah, that particular match you're talking about, you booking that as match number 2 after the crowd had got already a bit hot.
Well, yeah, for sure, because the crowd's gonna be they're gonna be kind of hot, and then they're gonna be kind of like not. They do have a good crowd there, but because it's all big stadium, so
Yep.
it's hard to have that. The sound will dissipate. So sometimes it seems like you're not getting more cheers than you are. Now it's happened with those big stadiums. The only one that I thought it worked, and it was that Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. Like, that crowd was hot. Like everything they were hot for. So, and for a big stadium.
Speaking of stadiums, Doc, what stadium I would like to see them go back to, because the crowd, everything, the noise gets amplified there. I would like to see them do maybe a SummerSlam, not this year, of course, because we got that on lockdown.
We got that,
but maybe give us SummerSlam 2024 in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because the last time we really had anything major there was WrestleMania 19. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. We had it at the baseball stadium. We haven't had nothing at the Seahawks stadium yet. But I think it'll be, as far as stadiums go. I know we get a little off topic, but as far as stadiums go, it'd be cool to have like a big event there, because I'm not sure if you're aware, Doc, but that's one of the biggest keys to like why Seattle was doing so good, like the 10-year stretch as far as their home games.
Yeah,
because the way that stadium is built is the way, I guess, like the walls, everything is built where it's made to amplify the noise times 3.
Yeah, exactly, and that's from what I've heard. That's how with the Seahawks, it's just so loud and booming that they can't hear anything. Like the quarterbacks can't hear anything, and so I'm all about that. That would be pretty sweet, especially for a wrestling event. So there you go. Hey, we're giving you gold here. Come on, let's go.
That's right, SummerSlam 2024, baby. Let's go.
I like it. So
but as far as this, as far as my thoughts for this future forgettable match, that's pretty much it.
All right, me too. But so moving forward, we do have probably the biggest surprise, and I'm happy for it to actually happen. But we're actually going to get the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match at Night of Champions because of updated new relations being worked on with both, with Syria and Saudi Arabia. Now, literally, Sami Zayn is able to go now. Is going to go. And Kevin Owens, of course. And I'm happy for it. Because if you remember, like this last show, Crown Jewel, they were chanting for him the whole time. Like when the Usos came out and he was Bloodline, they were just chanting for Sami Zayn. They wanted Sami Zayn there. It's not like they don't want Sami there. It's a public, it's always been made out to be like he's not allowed to go. It's like, no, he chooses not to go. He always chooses.
Yeah, he's just protesting.
Yeah, like, so, but now I'm happy to see this happen, and they're gonna get a big pop. They're all gonna get a big pop from that match. Because again, it's Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, probably one of the biggest trolls I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, when he said it's gonna be us two, and it's like, what?
I almost got that right last time. Like, we're on the podcast. I said it's gonna be Roman and Solo, but I got the opponents wrong.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So see, we got this a little bit when it comes to these predictions. Man, what's crazy is it's like, let's give Roman some more belts, color-coded belts.
Listen.
Oh my God.
Listen, ain't no way in the world they're gonna let that man hold all that gold hostage. Ain't no way.
Well, the tag team dollars are one thing, man. I'm just saying. He can always lose those in a separate match. I'm just laughing because I don't want Kevin Owens and Sammy to lose. I don't, but I can just see it happening. The only thing I can see is, look, do the Usos come in and interfere to stop them from winning? Because right now, obviously, that wedge is breaking them apart now at this point. Like, it's completely breaking them apart. Do we see them actually physically go after Reigns and Solo? or what do you? So what do you think? What do you think?
No, I think. Well, I think the low hanging fruit would be for them, yes, to interfere and try to like help. To interfere. Well, I'll put it this way: the low hanging fruit would be for them to interfere in the match and try to screw Roman over. I think that's low hanging fruit. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to, I agree with you. They're going to try to help Roman win because they feel like if Roman wins, their position in the bloodline is safe. So I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, I'll be shocked if they decide to turn on if they do pull a face turn on them. But I feel like they're just here so that they could try to like get themselves back in the bloodline. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me. That does. So it's still just funny, right? It's still funny to like, oh my God, him carrying all the belts, or like Heyman's got all the belts. He's like, I can't carry them all. All the belts are so many belts. Because Solo like wouldn't carry a belt, Like think about it, because like has demeanor, he wouldn't even carry one. So like Heyman would have to carry all the belts except one. Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, I would have. I mean, would I like to see Solo get some more gold on the main roster? Yes, just not at the expense of his uncle, or I'm sorry, his cousin, Roman. No. But I feel like what I'm curious about, Doc.
Yeah.
Is what kind of pop? What kind of pop is Sammy going to get when he comes out on that stage in Saudi Arabia?
I think it's going to get a huge pop. I honestly do.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, with that crowd, what do you think the ratio is for people who live there versus people from out of the country being there? What do you think the ratio is?
That's a good question. Only because they
usually show the important people up front.
Oh yeah, the ones in like the big like recliners and stuff, and the big couch.
In the big Denny's booths. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Saw that. Yeah. But it's really hard to because we don't know what their policy is of like out of towners be able to come. Do they allow so many people out of towners to come? Is it just the people there in Saudi Arabia? Because that's a good. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's just
have policies for that.
Well, let's just play a little assumption here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm thinking it's probably 70-30. 70 Saudis, 30. Foreigners.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I'd say that.
So let me reiterate this question this way: with 70, when you have 70, what type of pop do you think Sammy's going to get with 70% of the crowd being a home crowd?
I still think he's going to get a big pop. I mean, like I said, they were chanting for him at Crown Jewel when the Usos came out, and they, what I'm saying? So it's like they're chanting that much, and he's not even there. So
right.
I think the second they hear the music, they're gonna be a very big pop. Yeah. So, and I can't wait. And then of course, Roman's gonna have like a 20-minute entrance, and everyone's gonna lose their mind for that as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, that's just like with me. That's just kind of been what's going on in my head the last 10 minutes as far as this match. Like, I'm just curious. Like, he basically took like a 9-year protest. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how the home crowd. I mean, basically how that crowd is going to react. Because, like I said, assume that it's 70%, locals there.
Yeah.
What kind of reaction are we going to be dealing with here? Because I guess it'll be like, I'm just curious what it'll be like where, obviously I understand the stadium, plays affected to it as far as like, the sound crowd. But I'm really just curious to see like, what if it's just, instead of a huge pop, you might just get like a mid tier pop,
Yeah. I think I think we're gonna get a big pop. I personally, I'm all for it. So, but as for the match itself, I do like not Roman. I do think in the end that Sammy and Kevin are going to win the match. There's going to be some kind of tomfoolery going on with the Usos. I don't think there's going to be an actual like they're going to knock them out or something. But yeah, something's going to happen with like Solo taking some weird bump or something and taking the pin because Roman's not taking that pinfall. No. No. That's why you put no Roman makes me laugh because no way. So pinfall, yeah.
They yeah, as far as I know we getting sidetracked or not. But yeah, definitely the match. I think as far as the match itself, this is a match I'm definitely looking forward to. It doesn't involve Mustafa Ali. So as far as the match goes, I'm just happy that it's the belts being defended with, not the people that's had them for over a year. So granted, it's still we still got Sammy and Kevin versus another bloodline match, but it's not against the Usos. It's against Honcho and Solo. So at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to it because, oh my God, can you just imagine, Doc, if we got a third match of Usos versus Sammy and Kevin, it would have been like, come on, y'all.
It would have been like what happened during the times when Usos were kept fighting New Day, and then the Usos kept fighting Street Profits. Like it literally, like they went this over and over and over and over again. Like it got so annoying, And I would have thought the same thing. I would have been like, again, let's go. But we do have another chat here. It's from D-Town Guy. Yo. What's up, buddy? What's going on? Yeah.
Yo.
So, thank you very much, as always, for tuning in. And as Sauce had mentioned before, we do definitely want to do more stuff on social media.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we have these little QR codes here going to both our Twitter in the blue and the Instagram in the gold. And like I said, we post fun stuff on there. You can interact with us. We'll definitely talk back. We love our wrestling memes. We love our GIFs. We love, yeah. If you want to do a chain, that's fine too. But so like I said, trying to grow that for our channel and just check them out. So moving on, we do have again because this show is not complete yet, as we kind of mentioned, but it pretty much is. And one match that I'm kind of upset this is actually happening here. Still hasn't officially happened or whatever, but apparently they're doing a contract signing for Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch at Night of Champions, which I'm very irritated about because I was assuming that this match was going to be pushed to SummerSlam. So I don't know what happened here. I don't know why they want to feel the need to jump the gun on this, but I don't know if they're going to do a continuation, like 3 matches. One gets over, rubber match. Then you have your third match, something like that. I don't know, but it just seems weird that this match now more overwhelmingly seems like it's going to happen at Night of Champions. And I'm just, it is what, like, I think Trish, I always liked Trish. I thought she did really well. Wrestling when she learned the trade, and Becky Lynch, you don't really have to say much there. She's really good as well. The storyline's what's been good here. It's been Trish as a heel always worked. As a face, she was fine, but as a heel, she did some great work there back in the day. So her promos have been on like fire promos. Becky Lynch being the face, it's fine. People like her. I'm not really a Becky Lynch face fan, like as when she's a baby face, but yeah, I mean, as for the match, it'll be good. Trish definitely can show that she can still work in the ring. As for who would win, it just depends on if they're going to have a continuation of, like, if they're going to do like I said, a second match, a third match, or whatnot, then I would have Trish Stratus win this match. If you have Becky Lynch win it, it basically is like, why would we have another match then? Seems weird. So to me, it just depends on if they're going to have more matches in the near future. But I personally would have Trish Stratus win this match, but that's my opinion on that. So what are your thoughts, Sauce?
So I remember hearing rumors and reports that this was going to be a SummerSlam match, and I just thought that was like, wait, for some reason, I just didn't think it was feasible. Only because at the time we were talking like when they were talking about this, we were talking 5 months away. I'm like, if they're already having interactions with each other now, and I just don't see them waiting 5 months for a feud. It just, to me, it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, it's definitely going to be a banger of a match. I just don't know if it was worth putting it on this pay-per-view, because I have looked at women's matches before over there, and I don't know. I understand they want progression, progressiveness as far as pushing stuff, as far as pushing stuff over there. Girls can do this too and whatnot for over there. But I was just looking at the last few of the women's matches over there, and it seems like, because as far as the culture over there, it just seems like they're just not in, like the crowd's just not into it, or especially the front row. As far as
and absolutely. I mean, that's just the culture. That's the weird backwards culture. And I'm saying that because it is. I remember when they had the one show. It was either the Greatest Royal Rumble or it was just one Super Showdown. Whatever it was, I think it was in 19 or 18. The big thing during the show they kept saying is, "Oh, well, new laws were passed and now women can drive cars." I was like, "Cool." Okay, well, cool. Drive a car to the I forgot to mention, drive car to the stadium to drop off their son because they still can't go in and watch the show at that time. So now apparently they can watch the shows if they're accompanied by a man. So but you're right. Yeah.
Because the only reason why I say that, because around that year or so, I think it was, I want to say it was Alexis Bliss versus Natalya.
Yep, that was actually that was the first match. Actually,
it was a pretty solid match. Like the match itself, I wasn't mad at. I enjoyed it. And I'm just looking at the front row, and it was a lot of young men. Like I would say, like teenagers. Like, well, obviously though, the men were there, but it was like a lot of their sons. And even the sons, they were just kind of looking around on their phones, just wasn't paying too much attention. I'm like, I understand things take baby steps. But then you look at what was it? I think 2 years or 2 or 3. I want to say 2 years ago, it was a triple threat. It was Becky versus Sasha Banks versus Bianca. It was still kind of the same thing. It was just like what you see from the hard cam was just a lot of the locals. They were just there like, okay, all right, yeah, we're just here waiting until the guys get back on. And the only reason why I'm saying all this is because, I'm just wondering. I understand we're trying to move forward with progression, in, the world of pro wrestling and over there. But I know, Rome wasn't built in a day. But it's like you get some of these matches, these, potential bangers. It's like I almost feel like they're kind of wasting them over there.
Yeah.
To a sense, like if you as far as progression, like if you put like Dana Brooke versus I don't know anybody, Nikki Cross, and then okay, I'm like, step in the right direction. You're not bringing a big fish over there. You're starting with the small pond, and then as it progresses, but you just it's like you trying to bring the New England Patriots over there, and into an area, to a place that don't care about football. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but with all that being said, as far as the match itself, it's gonna be a good match. Good versus evil. You know, the women I had a crush on forever versus the women that I would refer to as the man. There's gonna be, seeing Trish Stratus. It's gonna be a lot of emotions. It's gonna be a lot of laughter. It's gonna be a lot of crying. It's gonna be a lot of everything. But to see my once teenage crush grace us with her presence that we don't deserve, I clearly don't deserve in 2023. This is gonna be a this you know this is gonna be a this is gonna be a it's gonna be a hell of a match because you got Trish Stratus, one of the OGs who, granted, during her era, it wasn't really a lot of. It was like either you could wrestle or you were just booty cheeks.
Yeah.
But Trish, obviously is the reason why, she's at the top of the food. She's still considered, the greatest in that division, even though to me that goes to Charlotte Flair. But we basically gonna get some. I feel like we're gonna get some solid wrestling in front of a crowd that's just not gonna appreciate it. That's what I've been trying to. That's the phrase I've been trying to get to like the past 5 minutes. I just couldn't. My brain couldn't figure out how to get there at first. So, but appreciate y'all bearing with me. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking forward. Basically, I'm looking forward to a good wrestling match that's not going to be appreciated.
Yeah. No, I understand that. So that's why I went with Trish for it. I wish they would just have pushed the feud a little bit. Could have even pushed it to Money in the Bank, but it is, again, this feud I feel like is going to continue on for at least a little bit. But Trish, I'm going with her to win this match.
For sure. Let's see. Just don't mind me over here. Just tweet. But yeah, as far as as far as Trish, I'm going with the man. As far as I know, even if this goes into let's just say if it goes to a 3 month, let's say it does end at SummerSlam, I feel like the first W is gonna go towards. I feel like the smart move, if you're gonna have legend versus the legends versus current over there, overseas, worldwide. I feel like I guess you kind of throw logic backwards when it comes to the women's division. I feel like it's better to put your the current talent over, because like you said, Doc, if this does turn into a feud that takes us to SummerSlam, let Becky go over first. I want Becky to go over first. Then Trish Stratus could come up with some weird plan to put out a bet. They could have a rematch. I'm sorry, they could have a rematch a month later. Trish goes over, do something to basically like put her out until put her out for like 3 months, and then respark that the Rubber Band trilogy at SummerSlam. This stuff writes itself, Papa H. Just listen, we give you gold over here.
Oh yeah, there you go. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it I have on that. Now I do see you have on here the Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. Now, has that been officially announced or no?
Well, it's rumored that because they
I know they started they started pushing that a little bit.
But apparently it's just because these events, I know as far as with Saudi, these Saudi events, they usually have quite a few matches on the card. So the only reason why I put those, why I made a space, between those two and the official card, like I say, it's rumored. So we treat this as rumored, but they're saying that most likely it probably will be happening.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, this will be a very short and sweet. I'm just not into it at all. I mean, just Rhea Ripley, it's always great to see her, but come on, really? No one even reacted when Natalya came out on Raw to like stare her down, like, "Hey, don't beat up my friend Dana Brooke," blah, or
yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to like cheer? Like, what are we doing? So yeah, this right here is is definitely going to be a Booty Cheeks match. It really is. It's not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's if it actually happens on this show, then that's how I feel. This match easily could just happen on Raw, and just leave it at that. But
yeah, I agree. I agree. I would say as far as D-Town guy, I agree. Yeah, as far as I'm pretty sure he's referring to this match. I definitely agree. This is definitely going to be another Booty Cheeks match, but I feel like with this one, the only reason why I put this match a little bit higher over the Gunther is because Ripley, Rhea is a bit hotter. I would say she's hotter than, no pun intended, I guess. She's hotter than Gunther right now as far as momentum goes.
Yeah,
or not. So, Gunther, we all know what to expect. He's going to entertain us. But right now, Rhea, she's having some of the best. She's basically going through the best push of her career right now. So I think that's why. If I had to pick between these two Booty Cheek matches, I'm going with the Raw Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Gun to my. I guess I'd say gun to my head. If I had to pick one of the two, I'm going with Mommy versus boring ass Hart.
There you go.
Oh, real quick. So a buddy of mine, we were talking because he was asking me some questions about the whole Montreal school job and this that what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's for another time as far as like we go through all that. But long story short, I explained it to him and I was like, yeah, I was like, it's crazy to think that pretty much all the Hart members are gone except for Brett. Brett's the only one. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, it's crazy to think. He's like, it'll be cool for them, to make a new one. I was like, yeah, well, they tried doing that like 10 years ago, and no one really cared. And at this point, I was like, I don't know of the Hart Foundation who has children or whatnot, and who's gonna, I guess, who's planning on reproducing. Because I told him, you probably not gonna if they were to do another Hart Foundation, like I guess have it be impactful like it did, the original Hart Foundation. It probably won't be until the next generation because maybe Natalia's sister might have a few kids. What's the name? Davey Boy Smith's son. He might have a kid here or there or not. And I mean, I don't know how many Harts there are in that family, but I don't know. But probably Owen's kids will eventually, have offsprings. But with that situation, they may forbid them to ever consider what they'll tell them consider what happened to their grandfather. So I told him we might not really see, because obviously if you're going to do another Hart Foundation, it's going to have to come through. I mean, obviously it's going to have to actually come through the Hart family, DNA. You can't just have people out of some wrestling school called the Hart Foundation, because then that's just open up a whole new can of worms. It's not necessary.
Right.
So it's just I guess it's just a thought.
Yeah.
I just want to put out there.
Yeah, I think they should be done. I don't think there's any need to have a new Hart Foundation. You can have a Canadian team type gimmick, that's been done to death. But sometimes it's done right. Team Canada and TNA at one point or another was okay. TNA, Team Canada and WCW, but Lance Storm and Mike Awesome and Elix Skipper. I always have heart for that, but no pun intended about the heart. Actually pun intended. There you go. But I think it's the family name and everything. It's that just let it go. Just because Natalia will still be working there another 10 years because or at least under contract.
She's gonna be like the JTG of women's wrestling in a minute.
Yep. She wants to beat Alicia Fox's record. I'll tell you that.
Hey, there we go.
Oh man, but yeah, so nothing else really going on with that. But guys, if you're tuning in, or checking this out like later or whatnot, we are trying to push our socials, and we do have obviously a Twitter, and in the blue, and in the gold we have the Instagram, and just check us out on there. If you have something cool picture-wise wrestling, a meme or a GIF or just anything funny, cool, interesting, we're always here to take that, talk about it, and love wrestling. You have to hear some news or something, retweet something. You're on someone else's page, boom, pop it on there. It's all good. Tag us in it. If it's something you thought was cool, tag us in it. So, but yeah, thanks, guys. But, excuse me. So, moving on to, at this point, the last match on the card. Because, again, we do not have a United States Championship match. And we don't have a Raw Women's Championship match, right?
Nope.
So, and they've already started setting that up for Bianca to turn heel. Because at this point, it has to happen, or something like maybe not heel, but just because Asuka, came out and like interrupted her whole party and all that stuff or whatever, and it's like, yeah, and people like it, people like it, and yeah, it's supposed to come off as like a bad thing, but yeah, they're already starting to make Bianca turn because the fans are. We already been talking about this for a bit, but whether that match actually gets put on the card or not, to me, there's no way you're going to put 3 women's matches on this card. If you do, that's insane. That's okay. I get Night of Champions. I get the whole premise is that you're supposed to defend all your titles. Roman Reigns isn't defending the undisputed title, and guess what? There you go. Logic's out the door. So
there you go.
But we do have
the next match throws the logic out the door as well.
Yes, we do have another chat here from Avery. We do have a yeah. That's nice. Oh, and you know what? Oh, that's really nice. Avery is doing a great John Cena impersonation. The champ is here. Oh, that's cool. That's like what John Cena said all the time when he was champ, right? Sauce? Great. Yeah. That's a great impersonation, Avery. Nice job. Thank you.
Listen, shout out to Avery. His Cena fandom. Really appreciate it. That's why. Hey, listen, that's why we love pro wrestling.
Yep. Shout out to him. There we go. Right, Brutus. Shout out to him. There we go. Oh, yes, he knows. His silence is overwhelming. But so yeah, we do have again the main event here. Well, again, we don't know if it's going to be the main event, right? Does Brock get main booking over that world title match? I think they might. So, what do you think?
Yeah, unfortunately, but I mean, I feel like it shouldn't, because at that point it just pisses on your world title in a sense. I mean, remember Big Gold 2.0 with Triple H, how they just gifted that to him, and it took them a long time to to undo that and bring up the prestige. Yeah.
I agree.
And wrestling fans are way more. Wrestling fans bitch and complain way more now than they did back then. So,
it's the access to social media and how easy it is to get information. Before it was like you hear dirt sheets, and then you hear stupid Dave Meltzer running his mouth, and 80% of the shit he says is wrong, or just to rile people up to have people read his and watch his podcast and blog. So come on, and he's only one of many people that would do that stuff. But so yes, Brock Lesnar, this is going to be the main event. He's going to make, because he just is, and I'll tell you right now, coming off of the match that they just had, where I was shocked on the finish, of course, we talked about that, is what do you do for this match when this is just another regular match? It's not like a no DQ match. It's not not yet at least. It's not any type of stipulation. I had said if you want to utilize some stipulation, to make it a cage match, because they do like using those kind of like matches over in Saudi Arabia, Hell in the Cell, Elimination Chamber. So you know what I'm saying. So maybe they would have used a regular cage match, and they could have utilized it pretty well. So, but yeah. So I don't know. I just think unless they announce some kind of stipulation, this is going to be weird. It's going to be just basically the same match, or you're going to get a squash, right? Are you going to get like Brock Lesnar winning this match, and then you'll get the third match? That are you going to get that happening? Like what? Yeah, but before I get your opinion, Sauce, do a couple chats here. Give me here. We got Christopher. Asuka not going to face Bianca Night of Champions. That's what we were talking about. As of now, I don't believe it was officially announced. So if that does get announced or that does happen, I mean, then I don't know. I really don't know. I would be happy if Asuka won. I wish she had won at WrestleMania. That's just my opinion. People are all behind her. But I still don't think Bianca's going to lose anyways at that point. And then we do have one real quick here from CBM. We do. The Big Gold had to overcome a lot during its Triple H's reign of terror. But just when the belt seemed to get its prestige back, Jack Swagger happened. Yeah, Jack Swagger. Take your pick. Jack Swagger, the Great Khali. Yeah, arguably Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio won the belt. They kept losing every non-title match against every giant every single time. Like it got so, it was terrible. It was terrible. You'd see these little pops of like brightness with the Big Gold. Dolph Ziggler beating Del Rio, cashing in Money in the Bank. That was great.
Edge, anytime Edge was anytime Edge did it.
Yep, Edge, Batista, they always looked good with the belt, made the prestige higher. Or you had anything that happened on SmackDown. Because at that time, SmackDown, sorry we're getting off topic, but this just makes me, it grinds my gears a little bit. SmackDown was that time, it was taped, it wasn't live. So if they had a cash-in, that happened a lot. I think Jericho did it. I think Swagger did it. I think...
Swagger did it on Jericho.
You said it, Swagger did it on Jericho. But Jericho won he did it. Well, he didn't cash in, of course, but he didn't win it. But he won it also on SmackDown as well, if I remember correctly. Against Big Show or something. It was whatever it was. Anytime they had a new champion on SmackDown, they announced that there was a new champion on their website. Like 2 days early, they'd say, "Hey, new champion, watch this week on SmackDown." I'm like, and they'd show like what the heck? What's the point of that? Like, I get you're trying to get people to watch the. Now I don't want to watch. I want to watch it now. You just told me who won, so I don't know. That always grind my gears when they did that, and that's when I knew the belt was gone. It was just gone. So, but. That's a little off topic for that, but anyway, to bring up Jack Swagger, because right now, what's he got? A hat. That's the best thing he's got now, right?
Best he's done.
a bucket hat. A purple
bucket hat.
Oh my gosh.
Cardboard not included.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, back to Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. So, oh my gosh, Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. This match could go one of two ways. It could go, or it could be kind of like a semi-squash match. Remember, their match they had before went about 9 minutes and 45 seconds or so. And this match will go shorter than that. It's not going to go longer. It'll go probably around 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes. But Lesnar probably has to win. Like Lesnar would. Why would you book Lesnar lose twice in a row in the same type of match? No different. Nothing else changed. It's weird to me. Like, what are your thoughts, Sauce?
Actually, as you've been talking, Doc, I have a theory.
All right.
I think this might be a squash match. This match might not technically happen.
I gotcha. Yes, the old beat them up before the bell happens and match doesn't happen. Even backstage, and then throw them out in front. And then you have all the well, it could work because I'm going to run with that theory with yours, okay? It's not the Austin variety. It's the Sauce variety of theory. So,
hey.
But so imagine this. He gets beat up bad, takes them out to the ring, beats them up bad. There's no match, but just beating them up. You get a bunch of guards, all the guards you could get. Adam Pearce is there or somebody, and then it gets that's it. At this point, it's not the main event, obviously, because it's not going to have a match. Lesnar gets gone, is done. This gets Cody Rhodes off TV for a short time. because right now they really don't know what they have to do with them. Because once we have a world champion crowned, you're going to want to see some of these matches. I mean, obviously Cody versus Seth again would be great. Cody versus AJ, that'd be awesome, But you wouldn't want him immediately put into that picture. So he would maybe be out for just a little bit, selling the injuries. And then he shows back up, so you have this happening, and then all of June, and then I think July 2nd, I believe, is July 1st.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, correct. So you could see him coming back sometime in June, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and he comes back saying that I'm entering the Money in the Bank, but he doesn't win, right? And that just sets up another feud with someone else in the Money in the Bank. I just think it works. That theory, what you just said, that does make sense, and I could totally see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Pop H, again, we're giving you gold. Brutus thinks so too. He had to go. He fell asleep. He was snoring. It was kind of cute. But that's funny. When he snores, it's cute. But when I snore, my wife says I'm not cute. I don't know. It's weird. It's like
that's because you're not a loaf of bread with legs. That's why.
I know he really is. But we do have let's see. We do have another chat here from Christopher. I think Cody is going to win the Undisputed Championship at SummerSlam. That he could. He absolutely could. It seems now, obviously, Cody being on Raw, and Roman being on SmackDown is a problem, but it's not. It's not a problem because he could easily just go over to that show. He could go to that show. He could stay on this show or whatever. Ever since he lost at WrestleMania, people push to think that they're going to have that SummerSlam because they're making SummerSlam into this massive show now. It was always the top 4 show, right? But over the past couple years, they've really pushed this being like on WrestleMania's like radar type, and especially now being at Ford Field. Oh yeah, that crowd's going to be insane, and we're going to be that crowd. Me and Sauce and several people we know. We're going to be that crowd.
Yep. If I get close enough, I'm going to try to throw my underwear at Roman, like a crazy schoolgirl. Watch,
and it'd be like, acknowledge me.
And then I get escorted out the arena. It's going to be great.
Looks like we do have a couple chats here. We got Christopher again. Cody is going to be the next John Cena. Now,
nah,
I don't. Here's my thing about that. I don't. He doesn't need to be John Cena, in my opinion. He just needs to be Cody.
He just needs to be Cody.
He's just blessed the fact that people loved him coming back, and the fans that didn't watch New Japan, didn't watch Ring of Honor, didn't watch AEW, were happy to see him back. You're right, because it's hard. It's like AJ Styles, for example, when he came and crowd loved him, he wrestled great and he got over. But this also was a guy who never was here. He wrestled again all the aforementioned places I just said. So you only had that small group of wrestling fans, and then you got to get the casuals over. You got to get the casuals bring back that remember this guy was Cody with Stardust, the Stardust gimmick, which, you know what, as much people hated it, I thought it was kind of funny, especially when he was with Goldust. Like, to me, I thought that was cool. Him and his bro, like, let's go. That's cool. But no, Cody's his own guy, and just, keep doing what he's doing for him. But if he doesn't win the title at SummerSlam, for example, if you're going to, because it does look like we have another chat here from D-Town that goes along with this. Cody will win the Money in the Bank and challenge Roman.
That's what I was going with.
A lot of people are saying the same thing. Yeah, it seems like the obvious choice for that because, there could be some promos basically saying that I need to finish the story, and he's like, you can't. Your time is done. I'm at SmackDown. You Raw. Time is done. You can't. And then he wins Money in the Bank. And I was like, I forgot about Money in the Bank. I forgot you could do that, or something, So it does make sense to have that happen. I still have to wait to see who's going to be all involved in Money in the Bank. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun this year to see because you have a lot of people that have now they're pushing more to have a chance for this this opportunity for the world title shot, and the fact that if the new WWE World Championship, that would be available too. It'd be stupid to do it, but that it'd be available too technically as an option to cash in on. So we have to wait and see on that, honestly. And but yeah, I think Lesnar's going to win that. I think it will be an actual match. I think Lesnar's going to win, and it will set up for a third match to happen possibly, and then go from there. And then that'll be done. It'll be over. No more feud. Someone might even run in to help him. Not sure who. Maybe Bobby Lashley. I don't know. You know, the Saudis, with them concerned, they probably think Andre the Giant's going to come in at any time to help out. You know, but who knows? Gosh, that's so sad. That's sad. He's been dead 30 years, but you know, but oh my gosh. But that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, we have, like, the Saudi shows again have gotten better. You made a really good point, Sauce, earlier, talking about how the Saudi shows have just like pushed better after the pandemic and gotten some pretty good matches. You know, Logan Paul and Roman Reigns actually turned out to be a pretty good match. Honestly,
exceptional.
Yeah, very good match. So I was like, let's go. You know?
That was also the same. I think so far the best Saudi event was probably, I want to say, the 21-22. I want to say 21. I think. No, I'll take it back. Well, 21-22. I would say right now is basically they've started something really good now. Because I want to say 21 was when they basically did the finals for the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring when Xavier and Selena won.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, because Roman fought. I think because Roman fought Brock.
Yep. Crown Jewel in 21.
Yeah. So I think I want to say 21. I think has been the start of, basically has been the start of something, good now as far as when it comes to these Saudi events.
So you're saying that you did not care so much for Super Showdown when it was The Fiend versus Goldberg, and The Fiend got squashed.
Or what was it? 2018 when we had that red match with Rollins and Fiend.
Oh yeah. But wait, no. Let's go over that real quick. Let's just because this is yes, the red cage, Hell in the Cell, the red lights, the match that said it cannot be stopped for any reason, and then what happened? Sauce?
It stopped.
It stopped because he did like 20 curb stomps to him, right? And then he threw all the chairs on top of him. And then, like, at that point, it was just like, what am I watching? What are we watching now? You know? Oh, God. So, it's like, there you go. Gets mad. Yeah. Hell in a Cell. Overrated now. I'm so over it. I really am. But just you had some bad matches. You had some bad booking. You know what? For what it was, the Greatest Royal Rumble, I was into it. I'm not gonna lie. It was long though, because remember we watched that. Sauce.
Yeah, that was right. So, for some context, we went to go see Infinity War, and we went to it was like the 10 o'clock showing or something crazy like that. Because, basically a guy that we know that runs a local bar downriver. After the movie, we went back to his bar. I think we stayed till about 3 a.m. drinking. So yeah, we stayed till like 3:30 in the morning drinking at his bar.
Yeah.
And then I dropped you off, went home, and I think because I think it started at noon, so I think I woke up at about 11. They called you, and then came over. We sat there and watched it, and the best moment of all of Saudi was a man named Titus O'Neil, which is why I put him on the face of the thumbnail. Because his legend shall be told for years to come.
Yeah,
that legend is him basically doing a slide like underneath the ring, like he was going to third base.
Oh God, it was a perfect slide though. Like, it was perfect. Like, he probably could never recreate that his entire life if he tried a thousand more times. He could probably never recreate it. Like, he slid so perfectly. It tells you how much, like, oil he had on or something. They sliding on the mat to get other, but it was just ridiculous. It was just crazy. And, like, I still think that WWE, the video games, they should have put it in there as like a secret option that could happen. You know, like in Pokemon, it's very, very rare they find like a shiny Pokemon, or in other games that are like really rare loot boxes that have rare equipment. Very rare. No, the video game should have had something like that, where it would happen 1 out of like 500 times. He would go down the ring and then he would trip and fall in the ring. And he wouldn't even like enter the match. He'd just be like, there we go, I'm here.
Yep.
But no, Toyos O'Neill, who? Come on, man. Man. He took him all, you know, the best part too is they replayed it over and over again throughout that match. They kept replaying it. So
yeah, they said McMahon almost peed his pants and laughing. So he kept telling him to do it over and over.
God damn, push it again. Do it, play it again. God damn. It's almost as much as what they did years ago with Taka Michinoku when he got eliminated, Jerry Lawler. He kept saying, let's go back to that clip. And because he took that bump so bad, getting thrown.
Yeah, I remember, I think he went like face first. He just ate nothing but that, but the floor.
Oh my God. It was rough, dude. It was so rough. It was, I mean, but yeah, Titus O'Neil, it was fun, you know. It was fun to see this greatest Royal Rumble. You know what, 50 people, first time, only time ever that's happened. But it was just more the same, you know. They give Braun Strowman the cheapest looking belt that was made somewhere near there because, you know, you have a lot of bootleg counterfeit belts that are made over in like in Pakistan or in those other areas around there in the Middle East. So they probably didn't go far. And, you know, they have the money too. Like, they had the money. WWE had the money. They actually have a nice belt with jewels on it. And then if you actually look up that belt, there's like no jewels. It's all like, you can tell how flat and how like crappy the belt design, like quality was. But Braun Strowman is still undefeated and still currently the greatest Royal Rumble champion because he is back back in WWE. So there you go. And they don't tout that record.
Nope.
No. So, yeah. Now, would you ever be down to see another greatest Royal Rumble, Sauce?
I would. I mean, even though McMahon says he doesn't, even though I should say the old fart says he has no creative control, but I feel like with Triple H, you know, I wouldn't mind saying it. You know, if they're going to give us rating, it's got to be at least 50 men, though, I feel. I'm sure they can just grab everybody who's not doing anything in NXT and throw them in there.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what would happen. You get any group, everyone's in from the group's end. Like LWO, everyone's going in. Everyone wrestles from LWO. And then, NXT, every group, let's go. You're in. Let's go. You know? And so, yeah, I would be fine with it, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be in their cards because right now they only do 2 a year right now. So if you're doing this show, they're just going to keep probably Crown Jewel in that November slot or early November slot or whatever. So yeah, and it really depends too. Also, when this deal finalizes with Endeavor, because it's not. Trust me, they don't have an issue with working over there. You know, because they've had shows all around the world. So it's because the deal was with WWE, like, right? I think the deal was in 18. It was a 10-year contract, and then they re-upped it a year later so they would have it till 28, I think, or 29. Okay. So, and of course, the main reason we're having the Saudi shows, is the money. They get a lot of money from it.
Oh yeah.
It's a stupid amount of money, and they're not going to say no to that. Just keep the quality of the wrestling up, and don't shove shovelware basically matches down their throat. I'm sorry, just don't. Because if you want to put on a good show and with the talent you have available, and that they want to be there, then yeah, that's just make sure that that's all that's working. Because if that's not working, then there's no people aren't going to watch, and you're trying to make sure people are watching at home, 1:00 on a Saturday when most people have either working or have something better to do. Come on, So
Yep.
that's yeah. But I'll still watch it. At least I'll definitely watch most of it, especially the world title match. But
Well, I'll be in Colorado that weekend, so I'll be getting up at like 10:30 in the morning
I know
to wake up and watch it at 11.
Sauce has got more of a time change when he's there.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, you're gonna be like the jet lag, and then watch this, and you're like, can I just go to bed now?
Yep.
Oh gosh, but hey. So obviously this week we do SmackDown this week. They'll probably announce the rest of the matches, whether we get Asuka and Bianca Belair, whether or not Austin Theory actually has a match announced and put on the card. I think he should. I think we should have a United States title match. I don't think we need the Bianca to be in the match. If you're gonna, I mean, honestly, you don't need Rhea Ripley in that match either. But whatever they're gonna have to have one women's title match on that card. So they just have to pick whatever they want. Pick something, put it on there, be done with it. Because right now you keep the Natalya match with Rhea or make that happen, and then that just kills Natalya, kills her push, her whatever push she had. It's like, okay, it's gone. Bye. Get out of here. Go back to keep getting paid for another 10 years.
Yep. Did you do jack squat?
Nothing. Oh my gosh. That might be Jack Swagger's new name in AEW right there. Jack Squat. he just comes out the ring, he's just doing squats. Hey, what are you doing then, Jericho? What are you doing, Jack Squat? Come on. Oh Lord. That's actually a pretty good indie name for a wrestler. I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty funny. But yeah, so we'll let you guys know, next week we plan on doing the preview for the AEW show, which is the next day. So you have this show happens on the 27th. Then on the 28th on Sunday is AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So we're going to give you basically kind of a full preview for that show next week. But right at the beginning, we'll confirm the matches that haven't been confirmed this week for Night of Champions. But yeah, we're going to go full in with the Double or Nothing and next week. So that should be a good one. Make sure to tune in for that, of course. And there was a couple other things I had seen that rumors wise just kind of popping up here. Did you see the thing, Sauce, where about Bray Wyatt apparently being pulled from internally from the roster? So I don't know if you read this.
Nah.
To me, it doesn't. I mean, to me, it makes sense because he hasn't been on TV. He's not doing anything. So a lot of times you'll hear this like the internal roster has so-and-so as the top heels or top faces. Internal roster. It's like, again, we're going off of one guy said something, another guy confirmed what he said, and then the other guy confirmed what the other guy said, but no one actually has the right information. That's all we ever go off of. But that makes sense to me about Bray Wyatt. It really does. Similar people are talking about Drew McIntyre, possibly unhappy with WWE. His contract's up at the beginning of 24, saying he might want to leave. Look at the fact of the matter is that he didn't even get put in the world title tournament. Kind of speaks volumes to me a little bit, but that's it. After how much he did last year in the past couple of years, especially during the pandemic time, like I would hate to see him go, but
right.
I'd rather someone be happy, so then their work is going to be better than be here and be unhappy and then put on crap matches and promos and such. So, but yeah, so I don't know. And actually one other thing too, when I saw, and this just broke what? Because you mentioned briefly earlier, Seth Rollins was caught on. I say caught, but on the set of the new Captain America movie, Captain America: New World Order. New World Order.
Oh yeah, there's talking about how he's now a member of the NWO.
Right, it's kind of funny, right? Yeah, so when people were saying that Seth Rollins, I'm like, it kind of looks like him. I thought people were joking about it. I thought people were like, it was a guy that kind of looked like him, and then they were like, no, it's Seth Rollins. Look at him. It's like, and I kind of looked. I'm like, oh yeah, it does look like. Oh my god. But and another chat here from CVM. What, you didn't like my Jack Swat gimmick? Jack Swagger needs to do a take on his dad's old gimmick. Instead of Bunkhouse Buck, he'll be Jack Ballin' Jack. There you go. It's but I know I still like Jack Squat, but I do like that as well. Oh my gosh. Never ceases to amaze me. But yeah, so with all that being said, over this past week, Sauce, my friend, what would you say would be your heat of the week? So something good, something stood out to you, match, promo, wise, or anything in between.
I actually know who the heat of the week is this week. I'll say it's Mama Sauce. Yeah, I'll put my mom as heat of the week. Happy, happy Mother's Day and whatnot. Yep. So, she grew, as far as growing up watching wrestling, she didn't understand it. She didn't understand the appeal of it back then. She was just confused, but she allowed me to watch it. So shout out to her. So, yeah, if I had to go to heat of the week, well, granted, now that the product is more PG-ish, it's not a whole lot of, dick and fart jokes and, crazy, provocative nudity and whatnot.
Right.
She actually enjoys it now. There's a couple of wrestlers she like watching. She loves her. She does love her some Bianca Belair. So, but yeah, she actually, she actually likes him more now than definitely during the Attitude Era. Yeah, oh, she hated it so much.
Oh, I can imagine. And I'm just gonna have to throw my mom on there as well because with Mama Love, there you go. She she growing up with wrestling, my grandparents, my grandma liked wrestling, and my dad liked wrestling, and of course my brothers and stuff. And then mom would watch it, but she really didn't like it. The best part though has to be back in the Attitude Era, she definitely just didn't like a lot of stuff that you said, the same things. But the funniest thing had to have been how my dad and me and my brother would tease her about her favorite wrestler was Mankind. But she loved Mankind because it was Dude Love. Oh, and Cactus Jack. Like she loved, and it was always like, especially the Royal Rumble when she came out as all three. To this day, we always teased her about it, and she gets so worked up. It's probably one of the funniest things ever to see. So when I was Halloween a couple years ago, I made my Mankind outfit. I was this close, if I had more time, to making the costumes for Dude Love and Cactus Jack. So, and yeah, it was yeah, it was something else. It was something else, but I didn't have time, so maybe it might be for a future project. Might be so. But yeah, shout out to my mom too for putting up with me and my brothers and stuff through our wrestling and our semi-professional wrestling careers that we had as well. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I mean, again, thanks always, you guys. Without you guys talking with us, it's just us chit chatting. And of course, we do have Sauce. He's pulling a John Cena today, but trust me, he'll be back to 150% next week.
God, I hope so.
No, I have faith. I got faith. But one more time for the social medias, because again, we're really going to be pushing that a little bit more. Just just like I said, the blue you got in here is for the Twitter, and the gold is of course for Instagram. And just leave a picture, GIF, if you got questions on something, what we talked about, if you got questions on something we didn't talk about, it's all good. It's all good with us. Any cool pictures were wrestling related or whatnot, we would love to see them. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got though. Sauce, did you have anything else?
No, I'm pretty much good to go.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, again, guys, thank you as always. It's always a fun time talking and chatting about wrestling. But we do, like I said, we're gonna head out, and of course, Dr. Love and Brutus, who's asleep on the floor, so we're gonna let him sleeping. And of course, we got Sauce Bronson. And you guys, as always, have a good night.
And most importantly, y'all have fun and be safe, and most importantly, be good.